Hi there! In this video I'm going to show you how to add the face with the eyes, the gills, the fins, and the lateral line. So after completing round 33, I have my marked stitches here. I chose to mark round 26 for the dorsal fin, round 28 for my gills, and round 31 for my eyes. After we have that done, we want to make sure our fish is flat, and then we can follow our marker for round 26 up, and that's where we're going to pin our dorsal fin along the flat edge with the front spikes right there on the line between round 26 and 27. So I want this stitch to be the main stitch that anchors the front of my dorsal fin. So I'll just line it up there and place some pins in it. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. This is so we can get a good idea to balance the eyes and the gills. After we have our dorsal fin pinned in place, we're going to turn it and flatten the front of the face so we can figure out where we want our eyes. Keep this dorsal fin pointed up. Some of my pins are pinned in the sides so it's not standing straight. You want it to be standing straight so you can determine where the center point is. If this is our center, then I want to count 5 stitches on each side so that there are 11 stitches between the eyes. So I'm going to hold this one and count 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put the eye in the next one. Mine, luckily enough, is in the right spot, so that's where the right eye will go. And now this is the center, so we're going to count 5 going to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to mark that next stitch. And we should have 11 stitches between where the eyes are marked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we can also look at it from the front and see if they're pretty close to even. When we do that, that looks good to me. So now we can move on and add our gills. The gills are added separately for each side. So first we'll do this left side of the fish, and we're going to count down 6 stitches from the eye. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to go 1 round forward. We'll insert our hook, pick up the new color, and pull it through. After we have our color joined, we're going to slip stitch 2 rounds toward the tail. So it'll be in this hole here and in this hole here. If you're not doing this on camera, you can move your fish however is easiest for you to do this. I'm trying to keep it pretty still so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I have 2 stitches toward the tail, and now we're going to stitch 2 diagonally, which is toward the tail 1 and up 1, and then toward the tail 1 and up 1. So we're going to go in this stitch here, and then this stitch here. Now we are on round 28, and we're simply going to go 4 stitches up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be in line with where we have our marker for our eyes. So that is the first side for our gills. We can cut it, pull it through, and then we're just going to pull it back inside the head in the same stitch. And then we'll secure those inside. Now we can do the other side of the fish, and we're going to do the same thing. Count 6 stitches down from the eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 stitch forward, and this is where we're going to join. This side is always a little awkward for me, so it's going to be even more awkward on camera. After our join, we're going to slip stitch 2 toward the tail, so 1, oops, and 2. Now we're going to slip stitch diagonally toward the tail and up 1, toward the tail and up 2. So we'll be using this stitch here and this stitch here. And it's okay to do these fairly loose so that they don't change the shape of your bass. Now we are on round 28. You can see it's in line with the marker that I placed earlier. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, again in line with our eye marker. So now that side is done, we can cut our yarn again and pull it through, and then we will use our hook to pull it back into the head. And we can secure those inside the head. Now that my gills are done, I can remove my eye markers and place whatever eyes that I've chosen in that spot. This time I'm going to use 12mm safety eyes. And secure those. So everything looks nice and balanced. And now we can work on sewing our pectoral fins on. After I have the eyes secured, I'm ready to sew on the pectoral fins. I like the last row to be the front on the outside. So if we look at the back side, it has this bump here. I want that to be on the side facing the fish. Now I'm going to sew this one round behind the gills and 2 stitches below the top of the gills. So I'm going to go under that stitch and keep it in this line. Of course, I got it tangled up first thing. And go through part of the stitch part of the fin at the bottom. Try not to get the other tail. And then do the same thing in the next stitch. Go under. And then go through the bottom of the fin. And then the last stitch. And you can add more stitches to secure it better if you need to. So I have this fin attached. You can see I sewed it down a bit more on this top corner and this bottom corner, and I hid all the ends inside of the body. Now we can do the same thing on this other side. We're going to go one round behind the gills and then 2 stitches down and start sewing it on. And that's the other fin. After I have the pectoral fins sewn on, I'm ready to add my lateral line. The general idea for the lateral line is that we're going to make a line from 1 stitch above the pectoral fin all the way down the body to the center end of the body. So you can see that it won't be the same stitch all the way across. I can't follow this one stitch because it'll end up at the bottom of the body and I want it in the center. So what I'm going to do is just stagger stitches until I can slowly raise it up. My cat has decided to join us and now she wants to play. Alright, so let's look at this pass that I did. If I had followed this stitch, it would be on the underside of the body. But I used these staggered stitches to raise it 1 stitch at a time until I felt like it was better centered. And all these are is just downward diagonal stitches. So I'm going to start 1 stitch above my fin. Oops, I got some of the tails on the inside there. Leave it long enough to hide. And I'm just going to go down diagonally and then come back up. And just make these diagonal downward stitches all the way across, occasionally making 2 or 3 stacked together to make sure my line ends up where I want it to be. I've got a knot in my yarn. And we'll just continue that all the way to the end of the body. I hope you found this helpful.